Their names are Ryan Whitney, Brian Miller, Justin Mazer, David Klima, and Brian McConnell. They represent one of the top recruiting classes to ever wear the red and white of BU. Rated as the #1 freshman class coming into the season by the Red Line Report. These fabulous freshmen are living up to their billing, proving to be instrumental to the success of the team.
Yeah, real good freshman class. You know, they were rated #1 class coming into the year, and you know it's a lot of pressure for these guys, but they've handled it well. And you know they're not cocky guys. You know they're all level-headed guys who come in and work 110% and you know fit in with the team great.
They stepped right in. They all played really well their first few games, and they continue to play well. They seem confident out there, and I think that's a big plus too. Because when you're a freshman, sometimes it's tough to feel comfortable with your teammates, and they've seemed to do that pretty well right now. So hopefully they can keep playing as well as they are.
I think McConnell is the biggest sleeper in the class. I think everybody knows he's a pretty good player. He was a big recruit, but he gets around the rink a lot better than people wanted to give him credit for. He's got great hands, great vision, and he's a real competitor. And he likes to stick his nose in there, and he doesn't back down to anybody. He's got real good size. He's a real Ron Francis type of center iceman, and he's going to make everybody else around him better.
Well, when I went out to Ann Arbor to play for the national team, I didn't realize how much I would actually miss being back in Boston. From day one, whenever I started watching college hockey, I knew I wanted to play at BU, and just the tradition they have here is amazing. No school has the tradition like they do. So it's basically just a no-brainer to come to BU.
He's another one I was really impressed with. He's kind of a smaller guy for a defenseman, I guess, but just very rarely makes a mistake. I'd say he probably makes the least mistake out of the defenseman on this team right now. He's just, every time he gets the puck, he makes the right play with it, and it's actually been tough for him because he's been getting switched back to forward and defense.
One of the main reasons was probably the tradition that the school has. You know, the first thing you do when you walk into the building is see all the banners. Coach Parker also has a big influence in that. And it's a great city to be in, great school education-wise, and just wanted to be a part of all that.
David Klima is from Roseau, Minnesota, played in the U.S. Junior League. Very clever center iceman, good size, gets around the rink pretty well, and he's another guy that, one of our problems last year is that we really had trouble making plays through center ice and making offensive plays because we had a lot of grinders, but we didn't have that many clever center icemen. And with the addition of McConnell and Klima, they really jumped us up in that area as far as being able to create offensively with skill and not just dump it in and go bang people.
Well, it's amazing, all the hype that we have as a freshman recruiting class. It's real nice, and it's an honor to be talked about as the best recruiting class in the nation and everything else, and you can't really take it as anything but an honor. And you know, all we have to do is go out there and play and show that we are, and so far we've been doing that.
He was a big recruit. Style-wise, he's a real strong skater, a real good-looking skater. You know, he's got a pro stride and handles the puck, but I think his best ability is he's willing to go in and stand in the tough areas, get in front of the goaltender, take a hit, make a play. He's willing to take a hit to get the puck out of the zone. He's a very gritty player with real good hands that makes good passes.
We've got a really good class. I've been playing with three of the other guys out in Ann Arbor, Michigan the past 2 years, and grown really good friends with them. And then we've had another forward, David Klima. He's also a great forward, great playmaking center. We've all really bonded well together and, you know, playing good, so hope we contribute to the team.
Ryan Whitney is probably the most heralded of the freshmen coming in because he's got the big reputation for the pro draft and all that. He's going to get drafted very high in the NHL draft. There's no question he's going to be an impact player on our team this year. He's going to be a player that hopefully will have a lot to say in our success over the next few years. How high he goes in the draft, you know, what happens to him in the next level all remains to be seen, but I think that he's made big strides already working with Mike Boyle and getting stronger, and I think that's probably the biggest thing he has to do is get more mature and a little bit physically stronger, and he's going to be a great player.
He's a real smooth skater for a tall guy like that. He's got real good hands, and then we started playing games, and he makes some impressive plays out there. His outlet passes, he's a good playmaker, and the power play is real good. He's got a hard shot. And so, I mean, it's pretty rare you find a guy that that big with that frame, who can really skate and play like that. So I'd be surprised if he sticks around here much longer after this first couple of years.
I always grew up, watching BU hockey, watching the games. I've always heard and seen the tradition. At this school, it's an unbelievable school academically, and that was really important. And the hockey team, it has a tradition. It's always a winner. And when I was deciding on schools, I kind of figured I'd always wanted to go here, and it wasn't really a tough choice.
Despite the preseason polls, which picked them 6th in the conference, BU is currently 2nd overall in Hockey East, with the Beanpot Championship to their credit. And they're expecting big things as they keep one eye out for an NCAA championship thanks to these fabulous freshmen.